Hello everybody and welcome back to Zooming into Scripture. So you guys seem to really like my other video on outside references to the historical Jesus as shown in my video on Tacitus. So I thought it would be good if we continue this series and look at more outside non-Christian sources, early sources, and see what they reveal about early Christians and Jesus. So today we'll be looking at Pliny the Younger. Now Pliny the Younger was born in either 61 or 62 AD in Italy, and was a Roman author and administrator. He wrote many letters during his lifetime, with 247 of them surviving to this day. The letter that we are going to look at was written around 110 to 112 AD, I think, to Emperor Trajan regarding what he had learned with his interrogations with Christians, which places this roughly 80 years or so after the crucifixion. I'll have the full letter and response shown, but I'm only going to read the relevant portions for this video because it's a pretty long letter. But I'll also have a link in the description so you guys can go read the letter, which I would highly encourage. Alright, so we're going to start with this portion here. They asserted, however, that the sum and substance of their fault or error had been that they were accustomed to meet on a fixed day before dawn and sing responsively a hymn to Christ as to a God, and to bind themselves by oath, not to some crime, but not to commit fraud, theft, or adultery, not to falsify their trust, nor to refuse to return a trust when called upon to do so. When this was over, it was their custom to depart and take, or to assemble again and partake of food, but ordinary, and innocent food. Now this is funny. You might be wondering why he says innocent food. Well, so in Rome, or the Roman Empire, there was these rumors about Christians that they were cannibals. And what this originated from was a false or a misunderstanding about communion. So, like in reference to the Last Supper. So it's kind of funny that it was just like, oh, they're not cannibals, it's just normal food. All right, let's continue. Even this they affirmed they had ceased to do after my edict, in which, in accordance with your instructions, had forbidden political associations. Accordingly, I judged it all the more necessary to find out what the truth was by torturing 2 female slaves who were called deaconesses. But I discovered nothing else but depraved, excessive superstition. I therefore postponed the investigation and hastened to consult you, for the matter seemed to me to warrant consulting you, especially because of the number involved. For many persons of every age, every rank, and also both sexes are and will be endangered, for the contagion of this superstition has spread not only to the cities, but also to the villages and farms. Alright, so what information from Christians did Pliny the Younger gather? Kenneth Birding, writing on Biola University's page, summarizes the points nicely. 1. Pliny learned that Christians met together on one particular day of the week before dawn. 2. He learned when Christians gathered, they would sing hymns to Christ as a God. And then point number 3, he learned that Christians promised not to steal or commit adultery, and vowed to pay back money when they owed it. 4, he learned of a role in the Christian community called a deaconess, and furthermore learned that slave women could become deaconesses. 5, he learned that Christian associations were comprised of males and females, older and younger, and people of various social classes. He learned that Christians were not just found in towns, but were spread out in villages and rural areas as well. He learned that many Christians believed that a true Christian would never recant one's faith, even under duress. Also, Joshua Sacktarl, I think I'm saying that right, sorry if not, writing on skeptic Bart Ehrman's page, notes this. Quote, it's also interesting to read Pliny the Younger on Jesus. One thing Pliny's letter implies is that he and every other Roman authority figure assumed that Jesus was a real person. The fact that Jesus had been crucified probably made it inconceivable to him that anyone would worship him as a god. End quote. So it's very interesting to see just how quickly Christianity spread through the Roman Empire, as well as under such brutal persecution. Also, these Christians stood fast in their faith even when being interrogated by Roman officials threatening them with death. And of course, this is just yet another outside source confirming Jesus as a real historical person. I recommend you guys check out the whole letter and reply from the emperor yourselves. And if you are interested, as mentioned before, I'll have that linked in the description below. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you learned something new. And as mentioned earlier, I also have a video on Tacitus, which is very interesting. So if you found this interesting, you would definitely like that video as well. And let me know what other early sources you would like me to look into and make a video for you guys. I'm planning on doing Josephus next, and I know there's some other ones. So just comment down below what you would like to see. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.